They set some restrictions and you need to know about before we get there. You know that we open some tubes, maximum like 10 tubes out of 64, and after 6 months we do rotation. We close the tight because I believe if you go now straight and in the tubes, you will find, oh, it's a beautiful tube, beautiful color, found in the west bank of Luxor. So you're gonna fly over the historical sites like boats, ferry boats. But this bridge, it's became very useful for all the travelers, tourists. They come to Egypt and they want to visit the West Bank. Well, I tell you about the interesting part in a hot air balloon, if you want to hear about it. So before we got on the basket, by the way, it was a big size basket, not a small one. The basket fits 34 people. Can you imagine? It's a big basket, not a small one. And every minute, all of us, we jumped out. And we found the pilot started to yelling. Why did you leave the basket? You know, because what happened? When we jumped out, the basket went back up. Yeah, and the pilot went back up alone. Stories, as I told you about before, like the alabaster basalt, and how they're using that stones, handicraft, for forming like the statues, replicas of old. But look through the windows. You will find that these people, they're living in these houses. These are apartments for their kids. So that's why they're always leaving the rebar on the top, just to expect to build another floor on the side. When you see a big farm, and there is like a little house in the middle of the farm, this is where they have. So you can see that the hot air balloon, it's about landing now. Can you see them? So they're going down for landing. So all of them having Egyptian landing, I can tell you. Yeah, now I have a good experience. So this is Egyptian landing. This is Egyptian landing. Now, so when, oh yeah, I had over than 1,000 pictures. Yeah. But I believe the two statues of Memnon is still not in a good shape. Look at them. Still not in a good shape. That's why we are forbidden anyone to walk closer to the two statues. Can you see, people cannot, or tourists cannot walk close to the two statues because we are afraid at any time it can block collapse. So this, look at the right side of the bus. These are the remains or the ruins of the temple. So it was a completed temple, was built in that site here, and you can see the remains of the temple. So this temple is still under excavation. I believe there are more to be found underground there. That's why we're still working on the site. And this temple was built just for one purpose, to mummify the dead body. 500 houses over there, but you only can see a few houses now because we removed these houses. You know why we removed these houses from there? because we found under the houses 500 tombs, like each house built on a top of an ancient tomb. And every time we went there to discover the tomb or the tombs, we had to walk through these houses, walk inside these houses, and digging in the house, down, underground to find a tomb. All the local people, they live in these houses, are very rich. Yeah, the thousands of treasures were found inside these tombs. But these tombs belong to who? Belong to who? The priests. They served in Karnak temples where we went. They forced them to move from here. But they said to the government in 1964, so if we're gonna leave, if we're gonna live somewhere else, how are we gonna make a living? That's why the government, they're doing a great job by doing a handicrafts, performing beautiful replicas of the ancient monuments. We shall visit one of the factories after the gallery begins. This is the factory we're going to. This is the first factory. President House of Howard Carter. Who was Howard Carter? The British Egyptologist, the one who found the tomb of King Tut in the year of 1922. So he stayed in that house. He was living there since he was assigned as in his
one. Can you see the deepest two, which is that one here? Can you see that one? This is the okay, gentlemen. It looks like man-made, but it's not. It's the natural, like formation. Okay, like formation. So the first pharaoh, because of the curve, when you see a curve that the base is caving through, this is the one he was talking about.
They think some of the stuff was taken prior.
Actually, made by him.
Yeah.
And he's a grandfather of Ramses II. By the way, this tomb is open. Wishes that will happen to you there. So all the pictures that you're gonna see inside the tombs are all the wishes they wish to happen for them there. Okay? No, represent actually for all pictures. How many sets I need to count them?
The hand and the left foot.
İçeri geç. Tek geç. Yok. Yok. Yok.
But how to fly?
I know.
I know what's that. Okay.
Let's go. Madame. America. Very big. Yeah.
Tak, 1823 i tutaj Państwo ten probowizn numer...
आयुषी पता है कहीं पे अगर ऐसा बड़ा सा बना आएगा ना और कुछ करते हुए आएगा तब मैं वहाँ पे
So reicht der so über den Seite. Ich bin eigentlich von dem Tag von der Züge. Bin eingegangen.
Yeah.
يلا يا يوسف حسب عندك يلا حسن حسن ويلكم باك حسب عندك المحلات والله يلا بابا Dos, okay? Yes, más barato.
Excuse me, brother.
شوف يا سيد
Before we get to the factory, if anyone wants to buy anything from there, this is the highest quality of replicas, okay, of stone handicrafts, highest quality. The prices, because this is like an art, this is an art, has been done by hands. Prices are different from one piece to another. But you know that one thing that you need to know about, that these families that are running these factories, they pay no tax to the government. Tax-free. Why is tax-free? That was a part of the deal between the government and these families. It'll not pay tax to the government, tax-free. That's why I'm telling you, if you like something inside, if they say...
So look at that. This is like a replica of the ancient tools they used for making holes. So see the way how he's using it? Of course, if you need like a bigger hole, they're using a different tools, a bigger tools as well. Okay? So now he's gonna talk to you about all the handy.
He married 5 times.
A severe one, severe earthquake in Luxor, not only in Luxor, that was all over Egypt. And the earthquake was pictures fell off. Okay? You're only gonna see in the temple 10% of these pictures. So we have lost 90% of the pictures. But at least we reigned Egypt for 20 years. And after the half-brother passed away, she sent her stepson away, remember? With Moses III, away, put him in a jail in Libya, and she reigned Egypt for 22 years. Again. But you know, unfortunately, Hatshepsut, she passed away before the temple was finished. That's why we call this temple